Hello everyone, welcome to Prakash IT. In this tutorial, we are going to study about dependency injection, which is a continuous video of Spring Framework. So, in this tutorial, we are going to study an important feature of Spring Framework. I will explain through the practical demonstration. Okay. So, in the part 1 video, what I have discussed is I have discussed theoretical concept of Spring IOC container. Those who have not gone through my part 1 video followed by part 2, which is loose coupling and tight coupling, I will give the link in the description. Please go through it before jumping into the part 3 of the Spring Framework video. So without wasting time, let's quickly jump into today's agenda. So as part of today's agenda, we are going to cover what is dependency injection, what is setter injection, what do you mean by setter injection, what is constructor injection, and we'll go through the setter injection and constructor injection in depth, and we'll understand what is the what is setter injection and constructor injection with demonstrated example. I will write the code in front of you and I will show the code. Okay. So at the end of the video, I'm going to explain when to use setter injection and when to use constructor injection. So that we'll see later. Let me first go through what is dependency injection and followed by what is setter injection and what is the constructor injection and how many types of actually I have already told dependency injection. So let me explain one by one, then we then quickly jump into the coding sections. Okay, so first let me tell something about bear me for like some minutes for theoretical session, then quickly I'll jump into the coding section. So guys, please focus. Let's see dependency injection. What do you mean by dependency injection? Dependency injection is nothing but um, the injecting dependent object into the target class object. That means we are trying to inject the dependent object into the target class. That is nothing but dependency injection. So let me tell about let me take one example. Like we have a class. We have a class called uh, class A. So class A having two property, then how we are going to create the object, how we are going to inject the property value to the object, means the class. Then in that case what we have to do, we have to create the object of that class and we have to set the value and we have to inject accordingly. So let's see first understand what is the dependency injection. Dependency injection is nothing, we are injecting the dependent object into the target object as part of Spring. Okay, so you understood that. Then let me tell about how many kinds of dependency injection are there in Spring Framework. There are two kinds of dependency injection are there. One is setter injection, another one is constructor injection. Okay, so what do you mean by setter injection? As I told, dependency injection is something we can inject the dependent object into the target class object. So that is the dependency injection. But what do you mean by setter dependency injection? So we will do the what it may be the setter injection, it may be the constructor injection. The dependent injection is going to be same, but the way of injecting the object is going to be different. Let me tell. The injecting dependent object into the target class by setter injection, by setter method, then it is called as setter dependency injection. Let me tell one more time. What do you mean by setter dependency injection? Setter dependency injection is nothing but injecting the dependency object into the target class object by a setter method. That is known as that we can say that is setter dependency injection. Okay. So while doing the setter injection, I will demonstrate with an example. Let me go through the theoretical part. So while injecting the dependent object into the target object, then we need to, as I have told in the video as part of first video. So what we have to do, we have to make use of one bin configuration file, which is nothing but application context.xml file. I have already told as part of video 1. If you have not gone through, please go through that video. Okay. So while injecting the bin object into the into the target class, then if it is a setter injection, we are going to use the property tag, the tag as property tag. We are going to use the property tag. Okay, while doing the setter injection, and I will tell what is the tag we are going to use as part of constructor injection as well. Okay, so now let's see what is constructor injection. Constructor injection is the similar kind of injection. That means we are going to inject the dependent object into the target class object via constructor. So that is why it is called as constructor dependency injection. I hope this concept is clear, all of you. If anybody have any kind of comments or difficulty to understand, please let me know in the comment section. And the dependent object, here I have written down dependency object will be injected into the target class object via a constructor. So here as part of constructor injection, we are going to write the bin class, bin definition class, where we will configure our bin definitions. So there we are going to, in case of setter injection, we have writing our tag as while injecting the bin, then we are writing property tag. Here in case of constructor injection, we are going to write the tag is constructor hyphen arg. That tag we are going to use. Okay, so that's all about the theoretical session. Let's jump into the practical section. I will show you by using one ID called IntelliJ. If you have not familiar with IntelliJ idea, let me know in the comment section. I will also prepare a similar video how to work with IntelliJ idea. Okay, so you can also develop the same project by using the different IDs. Okay, so you may use Eclipse ID also, or STS, any ID you can use. Okay, so let me quickly jump into the practical section. Okay, so here is my IntelliJ idea. So what I am going to use is, like, I am going to create a new project. Click on the new project. It will going to create one it will open this dialog box. Then what we have to do is, like, let me give two types of injection. Let me give this name as setter injection app. Okay, my application is name is setter injection app. Okay, so this is going to be the location D location. Okay, fine. So I'm going to create a Maven project. Okay, let me quickly change the artifact group ID. So this is going to be com dot prakash it. Okay, let's create the project. So the project is created. It will do some basic setup. Let's wait for some time to complete this. See, the project got created. Let me quickly develop the code. So the Maven project got created. Now we have to go to the Java package then what we have to do, we have to create one package com dot prakash it. So I have created one package. So then let me quickly create the Java class on top of it. So let me create one employee class. Okay, employee class I have created, and employee will have some properties, right, as you know. So let me create private int emp id. Okay, so employee is having id and employee is having string temp name. So employee is also having a name. So what I'm going to do, I will create setter method for that. So shortcut for this one is alt insert if you are using Windows systems. So I will create setter method. So hit OK. So in setter method got created. Okay. So now I am going to create the toString. ToString also I have created. So let me quickly write the exam the class to test that this application. So what I will do, I will write setter injection test. This is the test class, the driver class, which I am going to write. So let's write down the main method. So let's see, guys. Please focus. It's my request. Please focus. I'm going to explain a very important topic and important concept as well. Please focus. It's a employee class having two property, employee id and employee name. What is the property it is having? Employee id is having two property, which the employee id and employee name I'm going to inject into the employee class. So whenever I am in this class I'm going to set whenever I'm creating the object, then somehow I need to inject the value for this two property. So let me tell about like how in traditional way how we are doing. So let me comment it out. Traditional way. Traditional way. So how we are doing employee, and let me create the employee is equal to new employee. Okay, the employee object we created. Then what we are going to do, employee dot set employee id. Let me set the employee id. Let's say it's 1 at 1. Then employee dot set employee name. Employee name is nothing but, let me write it down, Prakash. Okay, so two property I have written, the employee object I have created, and two value means two property value I have set. Like in this case what we are doing here, we are creating the object by new keyword. Once that object got created, we are setting by setter method. This is the manually developer is doing, creating the object and injecting the values. So let me print, I will explain. Let me print the employee object, what it is holding. Let me run this. Let me show you what it is going to display. Okay, as you can see, employee object got created, and employee id is having 101 and employee name is Prakash. As you can see, we are doing here is like in this test class, we are creating the object, we are setting all these. But whenever we are studying Spring Framework, right? So in the Spring Framework, beauty is we no need to create this object by new keyword, and we no need to explicitly set the values for this object. So let the Spring Framework will create the object, and Spring Framework will set the value for the object. So that is the beauty of the Spring Framework. Okay, so I have already explained as part of video 1. Spring container will take care of the creation of the object, from the creation of the object to destruction of the object. Like whatever the task we are doing, Here, creating the object and injecting the value, this task can be done by Spring Framework. Let me explain by writing the Spring code. Let me comment it out. These things I will explain by doing the setter injection through Spring example. Okay, let me quickly do that. How I can achieve that? So actually, the Spring setter injection, whatever the code we are writing now, that is the part of the Spring core module. So in order to work with that, we need two dependencies. So two dependencies to work with the Spring core module. Okay, let me quickly go to the browser and find it out. So what we have to do, we have to search mbn repository, mbn repository. You need to search. Then what are the dependencies we need? For that I will tell you. Spring core. I'll work with spring 5.0. Let me take 5.0, 5. Latest 5.0, spring 5. Spring 4 I copied. Then let me create the dependency tag. Dependencies, then simply paste it, then go to that, and Spring context support. The Spring core and Spring context support, these are the two dependencies we need for our application development. So let me quickly copy that, the dependencies, in order to work with our application. So let me paste that. Okay, I have created and I have pasted. Let me load the application. So these dependencies will be downloaded from the mbn repository. Okay, so I have written already two things. Then what I have already explained as part of video one, that we need to configure our bin which we want to inject as part of Spring. So in that case, in this case, we have the employee class. We need to inject the employee property into the employee class. So this is a primitive kind of injection. Primitive injection we are going to do. So object injection also, that is there. We will study as part of the next video. But this video, let's focus on the how to inject the primitive type into the class. Okay. So let's go to the resource folder. Let's create the configuration file for that. The configuration file is application hyphen context dot xml. Okay, application hyphen context dot xml is the file. Okay, so for this application, let me go through this one more time. And what I'll do, application context spring doc. Okay, so let me open. This is the spring site where I will get the XML file for bin definition, our bin definition, where we will configure our bin. Okay, let me paste that. Okay, so what we will do, I have already explained as part of in order to configure the bin, we have to use the bin tag, bin, then bin id, bin id. Let me first write, then I will explain. Bin id is equal to employee, employ, employee. Okay, and class is equal to, insert the package com dot package it dot employee. Okay, this is the package. Okay, so this employee class is having two property. So we are working on setter injection. We need which property to inject the property? We need property tag. We are going to use property tag since it is setter injection. Okay, what we will do, we will inject two property. So what is the property? Employee ID and employee name, that we are going to inject. The property name is emp id. Okay, employee id, and since it's a primitive type, so we are going to keep as value. Okay, value is, for example, 1 not 2. This time I'm changing the value. So you should not think that this is the same answer we are getting. So I have intentionally I have changed that. So this is the next property I'm going to inject. Okay, so this is emp name, and let me close that, and value is equal to Prakash. Okay, so this is done. Then go to the setter injection. What we will do, I have written the how to create the how to create manually object and inject the value dependencies. So I will create the object and inject in the spring way. Let me create the application context. Application context, why it is not coming? Okay, alt insert. Okay, no, alt insert, not alt. And import class. Okay, application context equal to new class path XML. This is the implementation class. Application context is the interface, and this is the implementation class. I have already discussed as part of video 1. So let's guys, please focus. So what I am going to do, I have created the context, application context container here, and I am passing what is the property I am going to pass. I am going to pass application property, application the bean configuration file, where all the beans are configured. So that is nothing but, let me copy. Let me copy, otherwise it may be a spelling mistake. Let me copy, and let me paste that. Okay, fine, done, good. Okay, so application context, there is a get bin method dot get bin. Get bin, what we are going to pass, that the bin id. We are creating the bin id, right? Employee, employee, the bin id, the bin id which I provided, employee this one. Okay, that bin id I am going to pass here. Okay, so what I'll do, this is the it is going to return one employee objects. Okay, so I have written that emp. Okay, so see, whenever I'm holding with the employee type of object, so what it is saying, to typecast, in order to avoid typecast to this employee type. So in order to cast that, it is a like headache kind of thing. So please use generic whenever that is necessary. So and that is nothing but employee class. We can provide the employee class generic type we will use. So no need to create the class again. Okay, so what we'll do, then I will just print the object employee. Okay, so let me explain that. So what we'll do, let let me explain that here. In the traditional way, what we have done, we have created the object here, object, then set the value. So let me tell here in this line we are specifying bean employee id. Bean id is employee, and class name is employee. So what we are spring, what will do, spring will do, create the employee object by like this way. Instead of creating, we create the object and inject these values. So spring, what will do, spring will do on behalf of us. So spring will create the object like this way and inject the value. Value is like we are setting the value. So here we have given the property tag. Spring will spring is like intelligent enough. So spring is going to create the object and inject our object, inject the value into the object. Okay, let's see, and run the example. You can see the employee id what we have passed, 102. So here we have passed 102. 102 is the value, and employee second property is employee name, that is Prakash, that is being printed over here. So I think, I hope you got what is setter injection and how to work with the setter injection. Still if you have not understood, so please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so let's quickly complete these things as part of constructor injection. So as I have told, in case of constructor injection, injecting the dependence object into the target class object through a by a constructor. So what I am going to do, I will modify this application. Then I will write the code by through the help of a constructor. Let me write this. I thought of like creating one more project, but let me edit. Since the video is going to be long, then let me cut short this video. I'll upload an individual project setter and constructor injection to my Git. Then I'll upload these two projects separately, so you can check it out. I'll provide the link in the comment section. Okay, so what I'll do, I will create the constructor for both the properties. Okay, I have created. Fine. This is the employee class. What I have, two property we have. I have created the constructor for that employee class. What I am going to do, I am going to do nothing here. Here I am going to do nothing. The thing which I am going to change is, here is the, instead of property tag, what I am going to do, I am going to use constructor hyphen arg, as I have told before. Constructor hyphen arg. Okay, then constructor hyphen arg. Let me change the value, otherwise you will be confused. 103, and the name remains same, 103. Okay, let me run that application. Yeah, as you can see, we got the employee id 103 and employee name is Prakash. Okay, so I have given, as I have told before, I will give the practical demonstration for this setter injection and constructor injection. I kept my promise, and now it's your turn. What you have to do is, like, after you gone through this video, what you have to do, you have to practice yourself. Without practicing, if you listen 100 times this video also, it is not going to work out. So it's my humble request to you is, whenever you are going to work, and make a mindset that you have to do coding. Through coding only you will get all the hands on. Then only you will be confident enough. Whenever you are going for an interview, it may be a interview, it may be a work. So whenever you will practice, you will get to know what is the pain. If you don't practice, you will get to know that, yeah, this is the line employee, this is the object we have created, and this is the way we are setting. No, this is not going to work out. If you write employee is equal to new employee. So why I am telling, there may be some beginner, I am not talking about professionals also makes mistakes. But my point is, if a beginner comes to see my video, so he will get more benefit out of it. Okay, so instead of create how we are creating object, how we are setting, so everyone has to write the code itself, then only you will be more confident. Okay, so if you like my video, then please do like, share and subscribe. Okay, so that's it for this video. We'll meet in the next video. Okay, I'll come up with a new fresh topic. Till that time, okay, bye bye.